Okay guys, so here we are on the Ahoy Altis server on INA, and basically you can see my kit right here, and it's fairly generic. Okay, generic gun, generic armor, generic kit, etc. Okay, and if I bring up my kit, you can see what we have right here. So we have recon fatigues, carrier, rig. Okay, you got your helmets, etc. Guns, basic pointers, basic everything. Don't have a lot more going on. Carrier rig. Okay, we've got again the basics for squad leader. Some IR grenades so you can mark stuff. Some frag grenades. Some 16mm for your pistol. Some 6.5 for the rifle, and various smokes and chem lights. The reason you've got the chem lights and the IR grenades is again so you can mark targets during night operations. The general smoke here is for marking targets, for pickup or designating it to your squad. So we might want to though refine that a little bit. Currently my guide does not have a backpack for one thing, amongst other stuff. So we go over here to the ammo resupply boxes, the virtual ammo box, and we're going to select virtual ammo box. Okay, so select that from the scroll wheel, and that brings up the virtual ammo box system. And this enables you to create custom loadouts. Everything is available pretty much, provided on the server you're playing it's been specified. And you can scroll through here all the weapons, so all the weapons that exist right there, and this is your current loadout. Then you can go into your magazines, and again all the magazine stuff is in here, all the different rounds, all the different smokes, all the different grenades, chem lights, and then other sort of subsidiary equipment, missiles, mines, grenades, some specific grenades, etc, etc. Items we then have, which is basically all your fatigues and kit, scopes we got there, hats, etc, etc, so the whole lot, and then into some of the more specialized kit, the night vision goggles, medkits, toolkits, and so on. Backpacks actually allow you to carry different quantities. Some of them can carry more than others. Similarly, the rigs that you carry will, and then we go into the goggles, obviously just for looks, apart from actually the diving goggles, which do actually help you out. Right, so I'm going to load up my squad leader gear, and once you have created a setup, a loadout that you're happy with, you can just click on any of these and save it. So you go down here and you can save your loadout once it's done. So this shows me in a quick look everything that I have in my kit right here. So in this kit we've got the MX3GL Black, that's the actual grenade launcher version of the MX. I've got 12 magazines of 6.5 round. We've got the worn combat fatigue, so it looks kind of good. The tactical vest, kit bag for the MTP. Got map, compass, watch, all the standard stuff, radio, GPS, rangefinder. The rangefinder should actually be changed out for laser designator. I'm going to make that change in a minute. That one should be laser designator. Tact glasses, the Shamag Tan, you'll see that. Laser pointer for night operations. Rco Scope, that's this one. It's the one that I particularly favour. Gives you two options, RDS and a slightly longer range. Night vision goggles, black. We've got the TWS MG, that's a night vision scope, again for operations at night. Doesn't really weigh anything, no reason why you shouldn't have that in there. Sound suppressor for the 6.5, again, no reason why you can't have that in there. Some 6.5 tracer rounds, only need 2 mags for that. 3 smoke grenade rounds of orange, 6 40mm high explosive grenade rounds. The ACO, that's for urban environments, for kind of close quarters, basically gives you a little bit better vision than the RCO. 4 explosive charges for engineering ordnance detonation. 2 blue chem lights, 3 yellow chem lights, 2 designated batteries, which is what should be in the rangefinder. 8 first aid kits because you're the squad leader, so you want to drop some first aid for the guys, and 4 night IR grenades. So let's load this one up. Okay, and here we can see our guy. So this is how my squad leader setup looks. He's quite sort of, able, not too encumbered, quite heavily packed down. And this basically is, I find, a very, very good setup. So this gun right here is the 3GL version. It's basically got an underbarrel grenade launcher, which you can select separately right here. Got to load a tube straight through the bottom, and that will basically fire off. Got 2 selector modes for this one, so obviously the single shot and the full auto. And then of course we've got all the different smokes and so on and so on. The good thing about the Rco scope that I find is basically, you know, you've got the RDS version for kind of close quarter on, you know, don't want to change your scope out. You obviously got then the longer range, which is great for engaging people on hillsides and so on. Okay, and then we'll run through some of the other kit. So basically we've got our night vision goggles there for night operations. We've got the TWS, which I'll show you. Again, this is a night operation scope. This is actually a thermal one, so when you look through you can see targets like this. It will show up nice and white and bright, and you can really see that. You can, it's got two versions, so you can go, if you want to see it, black as well, and it'll even show you daytime, so it's not, you know, restricted to just being night operation. In fact, actually sometimes having this scope is really good in the daytime, because sometimes in a town or city or whatever, you're trying to find maybe 1 or 2 guys. Also, as a squad leader, what I find is quite helpful, you know, I'm sometimes organising guys from actually like a hillside, so I can be lying down and I can use this scope, and I can, at a very quick look all the way around an environment. I'd be like, okay, search, ah, there's a target, and then I would just literally, like, you know, zoom back out and reference to my guys, hey, you know, there's a vehicle there, UAV vehicle at bearing 135. So you can very quickly help your team out by having this scope on there, so it's a good one to have. Tracer rounds are good for night operations, again, using those tracers to actually get in on people. Smoke grenades, always really helpful, because you can designate, you know, you can use smoke for covering people when you want to revive them for medics, give them a bit of cover, or you can use it for kind of designating areas, so you can throw a grenade down towards a building and say, hey, the enemies are in that building, helps your guys see where they're going to get to. The Tact vest, Stavrou, this one's got kind of a good amount of weight to it, so it's a good kit to carry. The ACO, I'll show you the difference. The ACO like this, again, it just has a little bit better vision for when you're in those town environments. You can see, compared to the RCO, you just got a lot better vision all around. You bet a lot better peripheral vision, so it helps you to kind of really see what it is that you're firing at, and it's good all around. It's just a nice little scope on there, so I like to carry that one as well. You want to be kind of versatile, because squad leader, you're kind of moving from point to point fast. You'll be up on a hillside, then you'll be down in the town, so you're doing a lot of different things. Then of course, I say explosive charges. These are great for taking down the towers, or, you know, destroying other bits of, you know, the side missions, things like that, radar towers, or just, you know, insurgent buildings, things like that. You've got to take them down. The high explosive rounds, you need those. Designated batteries, I'll talk about that in a second. Into the backpack, first aid kits, as I say, I'm carrying 8, not all for me, for people in the squad, because you're kind of looking after the squad, so that's why you want to carry those. The IR grenades, they're basically like a beacon. You can see the little lights on that. They're like an IR strobe, right? As a squad leader at night, you will obviously be dropping chem lights, so people can, you know, if you have helicopter transport coming in to pick your guys up for extraction, you're going to have chem lights. But often from high up in the air, the helicopter pilots can't always see the chem lights. They often don't see them until they get kind of closer. The IR strobes you can see from quite far away. They're quite small, but if you were to put 4 down around an area, you'd very easily be able to see like a landing zone, so it's really helpful to pilots to be able to drop those down. Also, it can be very useful for CAS operators, people flying the Wipeout or the Buzzard, things like that. Okay, if you have an enemy area that you know, that if there's a building that you know have got enemy in, you can throw IR grenades at that building, and then you can say to the CAS operator, target marked, IR grenade strobe, and then they can see that from the air easily. You can see the strobe markings, and they'll just come in and hit that target. So again, really useful that the squad leader carries that, not necessarily the squad, because basically if the squad's carrying it, who knows what they're going to light up. Right, here's the rangefinder. Now the rangefinder, as you can see, it's great because it gives you, you know, a long distance, and you can see, you know, it's obviously finding the range, because that's what this thing does. It also has night vision mode. However, it's not really what I want. So this is actually one little tweak we can make to the kit right now, and I'll explain why. So basically we've got rangefinder in here, okay, but what we are really after is this, the laser designator. So I'm going to remove my rangefinder and put in the laser designator. And the reason for that is pretty straightforward. I think this will work without me having to actually physically load the batteries. Yeah, there we go. Basically, the laser designator is exactly the same as the rangefinder. The only difference is when you zoom in. Now, if you look at the sort of top here next to the right with range, when I click the mouse, that little icon comes on. That basically means that you are laser designating that target right at that time. Once that target is lit, any CAS operator can lock onto that target, or any AT soldier can lock onto that target, and it will lock straight away. So they don't have to, you know, they can do GBU bomb runs from the CAS, or you can use AT missiles, etc., and they will lock onto that target, provided you keep it lit. So you're basically aiming at that target like this. Okay, this tank is lit whilst I'm holding the rangefinder on there. As soon as I take it off, it's not going to be lit anymore. So you've got to keep the target lit until it's destroyed, and that'll basically hit it like that. So basically, as a squad leader, you want to carry the laser designator because it's a really good piece of kit, and it will enable you to designate targets to different operators in the game for yourself. So that's basically my squad leader kit. It's a pretty good one, as I say. I've spent a little bit of time building it. There's various different tweaks that everybody's going to favour. Everybody has their own setup. This is what I've been running right here, and as I say, this generally I find works for me in all situations so far. Had a lot of good fun with it this week.